So today, while the ducks and the chickens are playing out in the yard, I thought that I would show you how to plant seeds in little eggshell cups. Some of the calcium-loving crops like tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, things like that, cucumbers, benefit from a little extra calcium in the soil, so you can give it to them by actually planting in eggshells, which obviously are made of calcium, and then when you transplant the seedlings, you just crush the eggshell a bit, plant it right in the ground, and that eggshell continues to leach calcium into the soil to help your plants. So what you want to do is you take your egg, and I use the blunt end on the bottom since you're going to want to give your roots the most room as you can, and you just kind of knock the top of the egg off, maybe, I don't know, the top third or quarter with a sharp knife. Empty out your contents, rinse them out, and then you're going to want to poke a hole in the bottom. You can use a pin. I like to use a dowel. Just put your shell down and kind of poke the dowel and twist it until you've got a nice drainage hole there in the bottom of each of your shells. And that is that. So then you're just going to take your shell, and you want to use a good potting mix, which generally is not just soil from your garden. You're going to want to use something that's got a little bit more space in it for air and water and that. So you fill your shell up, and then I'm going to be planting some Roma tomatoes. So since it's a fairly small space for the seedlings, not only do you want to start a little bit later in the season so you can plant them outside sooner than later, but you don't want to put too many seeds per shell. So I might just put 3, sorry, ignore the chickens, 3 little seeds in the shell, and then put a little bit more soil on top. Don't pack it down, but just kind of pat it into the shell so your shell is full of soil. Then you're going to do all, 6 at a time, wherever. I like to leave them in the egg carton because that way if a little bit of the water drains out, it gets absorbed by the egg carton. And then you just want to give it a little bit of water, really get it nice and wet. And then you can cover the top of this with a piece of saran wrap. Kind of creates a greenhouse effect. You want to put it in a warm place, maybe the top of your refrigerator or over your radiators. And you're going to want to keep the soil moist. If you touch it and it's moist, that's good. And then as soon as your seedlings sprout, you can take off the plastic wrap and put your seedlings in a sunny windowsill. And then you're going to want to keep them inside until your first true set of leaves form on each seedling. You'll probably want to thin them, unless all 3 look great, but you'll want to thin down to the 1 or 2 that look the strongest and the best. And then when it's time to plant them outside, once the danger of frost has passed and it's warm enough in your area, you're just going to want to kind of, carefully crumble the shell with your fingers. Don't disturb the roots. Plant the whole thing in the ground, right so the top is at soil level, and then obviously water it well. And then as the plant grows, then the roots can actually get through. They won't be stuck in this shell, and they will benefit from the calcium in the soil. So it's as easy as that to plant seedlings in eggshell cups.